All right, back in the garage. Today we are going to work on acid adjustments and getting the grapes fired up with some yeast. So the only acid to add to grapes is tartaric acid. There's a bunch of different types of acids: citric, malic. You don't want to really mess with any of that stuff. Just work with tartaric acid and follow the manufacturer's instructions on dropping your pH level. They're all going to be a little bit different. I only buy my acid and basically all of my equipment from morewine.com. They make the best and have the best stuff. So I've already measured this out. It's 320 grams. We're going to be adding this acid. I add it direct. Some people will mix it with water. Again, I don't do that. I don't add any water to my wine. But I'll add it direct. I'll check the must after it's been mixed and settled for about half an hour to see what the pH level is. And that's going to go into one of these big blue barrels, which has 10 cases, 360 pounds, about 20 gallons of wine to it. So again, our goal is going to be about 3.4, 3.3 to get it fired up. One thing I forgot to mention yesterday, guys, critical: anything that touches your wine and your must has to be sanitized. We only use Star San. In my opinion, it's the best sanitizer. Ever since we started using it, we've really had no spoilage issues whatsoever. So anything that touches the wine gets sanitized before the grapes or the must go in. This is a batch of the sanitizer. You essentially just wipe whatever you've got down with it and then let it sit on there for a little while and then rinse it off. You can see this is what we use to push down our must. This is what I'm going to use to integrate that tartaric acid. I've already put it through the sanitizer. It's still wet. I'm going to let it dry for a little bit longer and then rinse it off with the hose, and then that's going to be good to go. Here are our yeasts. So D80 we're going to use on our Cabernet and also on half of our Zinfandel. The other half of the Zinfandel is going to get a rock pile R15, which is specifically made for Zinfandel. The Riesling and Sauvignon Blanc are getting QA23, and the Chardonnay is getting D47. Again, all of this is from More Wine, and they'll add different flavor profiles to the wine. So you really want to just read it, and you know, they're very descriptive and, oh, this is going to add peach flavors. You know, it's subjective, but different yeast will absolutely make a different tasting wine. So it's good if you have a lot of barrels. It's good to mix them up and then figure out which one you like more and then blend them all back together to add some complexity to the wine. So read on their site about the yeasts. They're going to explain it a little bit better. Also, Go Firm. This is what we use to activate our yeast. Mix it with some of the distilled water, get the yeast fired up, and then pour it into the must. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second here. And the way I do it's a little bit different than the way others do it. So, all right, we'll be back in a minute.